The U.S. government is officially shut down. Good evening and thanks for staying up with us. I'm Derek Dice. After failing to meet the midnight deadline, which was 9 p.m. Pacific, the government shut down. For an in-depth explanation on what this means, here's ABC's Johnny Fernandez.
Both Republican and Democratic plans to fund the government failed in the Senate, making a shutdown all but certain at 12:01 a.m. Wednesday. The Democratic plan, which would have extended Affordable Care Act subsidies and reversed cuts to Medicare and Medicaid, fell along party lines 47-53. Moments later, the Republican back clean bill failed 55-45.
The bill upon reconsideration is not passed.
2 Democrats and an independent supported the proposal, and 1 Republican opposed it. Lawmakers on both sides were quick to point the finger of blame.
The Democrat caucus here in town, in the Senate, has chosen to shut down the government over a clean, nonpartisan funding bill.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says Republicans will now have to negotiate with Democrats.
Their bill, they call it clean, we call it totally partisan. There was no input from Democrats. Not a single line in their bill had input from Democrats.
President Trump tonight posting on his social media pictures of his meeting Monday with congressional leaders with a hat on his desk that reads Trump 2028. The president warning of program cuts, layoffs, and reduced benefits, but hasn't specified which programs would be affected.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like.
Up to 4 million federal workers could go without pay, and many may have to scale back on essentials like food, bills, and school expenses.
We need the government to stay open so that we don't have to live off our credit cards, that we don't have to take multiple loans just to pay our mortgage, to pay our daily necessities.
After the Senate votes failed, President Trump's budget director posted on X that federal employees should still report to work to help carry out an orderly shutdown. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
And the government shutdown doesn't just have our politicians on edge. It also has local agencies uncertain about what will happen next. At Fairchild Air Force Base, more than 300 employees could face furloughs, meaning they'd be forced to take unpaid leave. Its military personnel will be required to work, but it's not clear yet if they'll get a paycheck on time. Non-essential workers will likely be asked to stay home, meaning you could eventually start to see some delays with government programs like food stamps. And with the shutdown in effect, more than 11,000 FAA workers, are set to be furloughed. The announcement was made earlier today by the Department of Transportation. This amounts to about a quarter of the FAA's workforce and includes employees who work as support staff and in non-safety roles. Over 33,000 Department of Transportation employees are expected to keep working without pay. That includes more than 13,000 air traffic controllers. These are expected to be the largest furloughs of any DOT agency. Now, officials at Spokane International Airport have confirmed the airport will remain operational despite the shutdown, saying in a statement, air traffic controllers, TSA agents, and other airport personnel are deemed to be essential workers. However, federal employees' pay is furloughed. Despite the shutdown, Social Security payments are planned to continue. The Social Security Administration says it will also continue to handle new applications and appeals. However, some internal functions of the administration will not be available. This means Social Security recipients could have to wait longer to learn how much their monthly payments will increase by next year.